right, let's kick off another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today we're going deep into Hasidism
Hmm.
and its impact, its really profound impact on Jewish consciousness.
Yeah.
And we're going to be looking at some excerpts from a really fascinating book by Eric Noman called The Roots of Jewish Consciousness.
Very cool.
And and specifically Volume 2.
Oh, okay.
So our mission today
Uh,
is to uncover some of the unique perspectives
right.
that Hasidism offers
Yeah.
on individual spirituality,
Okay.
the relationship between humanity and the divine,
Right.
and this idea of like a constantly evolving world,
Mm.
all through the lens of psychology.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's not just about understanding,
Yeah.
historical or theological aspects of Hasidism.
Right.
It's about seeing how these ideas kind of reflect our own personal journeys
Yeah.
and the inner workings of the human mind.
Oh, so instead of like a history lesson, we're going on a journey of self-discovery. Okay, I like that.
And to really appreciate Neumann's perspective,
Mm.
it's important to remember that there are many ways to kind of approach Hasidism.
Okay. Yeah.
Think of scholars like Buber and Scholem,
Okay.
right? Buber was all about the lived experience,
Mhm.
the everyday spirituality,
Okay.
while Scholem kind of dove deep into
Yeah.
the mystical and theoretical side.
So Buber was really focused on how we practice these
Yeah.
ideas in our daily lives.
Exactly.
And Skolem was more interested in the bigger cosmic picture.
Precisely.
Got it.
So Newman adds another layer to this by saying,
Yep.
let's explore how these Hasidic ideas actually mirror
Mhm.
the development of the individual soul.
Oh, okay, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
So where do we begin this
Right.
psychological deep dive?
One of the most mind-blowing concepts in Hasidism
Okay.
is this idea of the Tzimtzum principle.
Okay.
It's the idea that God, in order to create the world,
Right.
had to kind of contract or limit himself.
Okay. Like imagine the vastness of God, this infinite being,
Right.
choosing to make space for something
Yeah.
else to exist.
So it's not that God became smaller
Oh, bro.
or weaker.
Okay. It's an act of incredible love,
Okay.
a selfless act to allow for individual existence.
Wow.
And because of this self-contraction,
Yeah.
the world is full of these hidden depths.
Hmm.
It's like God is veiled, waiting to be revealed
Okay.
through our actions and our engagement
Whoa.
with the world.
So by living our lives
Yeah, exactly.
and interacting with the world around us,
Yeah,
we're actually uncovering the divine.
you got it.
That's a powerful thought.
It is.
Yeah.
And it leads us to another key figure in Hasidism,
Okay.
the Tzaddikim,
Okay.
often referred to as doctors of the soul.
Doctors of the soul.
These are spiritual guides who help individuals find their own unique paths
Okay.
to connect with God.
So they're kind of like spiritual mentors.
Yes, but there's this beautiful story about a tzaddik.
Who was asked,
Okay.
show me one general way to serve God.
Uh,
And the tzaddik replied, it is impossible to tell people what way they should take.
mhm.
Everyone should carefully observe what way his heart draws him to,
Okay.
and then choose this way with all his strength.
Wow.
So
So instead of a one-size-fits-all approach to spirituality,
right,
each person has their own
exactly.
individual path to the divine.
It challenges the idea that
Wow.
there's only one right way to be spiritual.
Yeah.
And within Hasidism, there are even these different views
Oh, interesting.
of what a tzaddik
Right.
should be like.
Right.
Some see them as more ascetic,
Mhm.
almost otherworldly figures detached from the material world.
Right.
Others see them deeply engaged with humanity,
Mhm.
supporting people in their everyday struggles.
So it's like the tzaddik in a fur coat
Yeah,
versus the tzaddik with his sleeves rolled up,
that's a great way to put it.
both trying to guide people towards the divine,
Yeah,
but in very different ways.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And speaking of everyday life,
Mm.
Hasidism really emphasizes finding the divine within the world,
Okay.
not escaping from it.
Okay.
There's this focus on regeneration, on seeing even sleep as a time for spiritual renewal.
Oh, interesting.
Think about the Zohar, that
Yeah.
key mystical text.
Yeah.
It describes the soul ascending at night and being reborn each morning.
So it's not about rejecting the physical world,
Exactly.
but seeing the spiritual kind of woven into the
Yeah.
fabric of our everyday lives.
Precisely.
Okay.
And to understand that more deeply,
Right.
we need to explore this ascetic concept of the soul and its
Wow.
different levels.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper.
All right.
Tell me more about this idea
Oh.
of the soul having these different levels.
Hasidism describes 3 levels of the soul.
Okay.
Nefesh is our instinctual nature,
Hmm.
our basic drives and desires.
The Ruach is our emotional and moral center,
Okay.
where our feelings and values reside.
Got it.
And then there's Neshama,
Mm.
the spiritual aspect of the soul,
Okay.
which connects us to something greater than ourselves.
So we have these different dimensions within us,
Yes.
each playing a role in our overall being.
Right.
Does this relate to the physical world in some way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Each level of the soul is connected to a realm of nature.
Okay.
Nefesh is connected to the mineral world,
Hmm.
Ruach to the plant world,
Okay.
and Neshama to the animal world.
Wow.
But it doesn't stop there.
There's more. I'm on the edge of my seat.
The ultimate goal in Hasidism
Okay.
is this unity of the soul,
Okay.
experiencing a state of nothingness,
Mm-hmm.
which is seen as true wisdom.
Oh, interesting.
It's a state of complete surrender and union with the divine.
Okay.
But to get there,
Yeah.
we have to go through a process of introversion,
Right.
of turning inward and exploring the depths of our own being. So it's not just about understanding these concepts intellectually.
Exactly.
It's about experiencing them within
Yeah.
ourselves.
Then you see this idea of interconnectedness
Yeah.
between the inner and outer realms is
Yeah.
also reflected in the 4 Kabbalistic worlds.
Okay.
Asiya, the physical world.
Right.
Yetzirah, the world of emotions.
Mm.
Bariah, the realm of archetypes.
Okay.
And Azilut, the divine world.
Okay.
Each world represents a different level of reality,
Mm.
and they all kind of interrelate and influence each other.
Wow, this is a lot to take in.
Yeah,
It's fascinating how Hasidism offers
it is.
such a unique way of looking at reality,
Mm.
connecting the physical and spiritual,
Right.
the inner and outer worlds,
Yeah.
and the individual soul's journey with this vastness of the cosmos.
It's a complex and beautiful tapestry, that's for sure.
It is.
And we've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, I believe that.
Are you ready to delve deeper?
Absolutely. I'm eager to see where this deep dive takes us next.
Great.
Yeah. So we've been talking about these different levels of the soul and how they connect to the realms of nature. It's all very intricate and interconnected.
Yeah.
But where do we go from here? What's the next layer of this Hasidic onion?
Remember how we talked about God contracting
Right.
to make space for creation?
Yeah.
That act didn't just create the world as we see it.
Mm.
It also scattered divine sparks.
Darks.
Yeah.
You mean like little pieces of God's
Oh,
essence
it's a great way to think about it.
are hidden everywhere.
Imagine them as tiny embers of potential
Okay.
waiting to be kindled and rise back up to their divine source.
So every rock, every tree, every animal, even I, have these sparks within me.
You got it.
It's like we're all carrying a piece of the divine.
And the process of raising these sparks
Okay.
is seen as a path to both individual and universal redemption as we grow spiritually, as
Okay.
we refine our character and connect with our higher selves.
Yeah.
We're helping to elevate those sparks within us.
So it's not just about my personal growth.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
about contributing to the elevation of the entire
Exactly.
world.
It is, but it's also incredibly empowering.
Right.
It means that our actions, our choices,
Right.
even our thoughts, have the potential to impact the world around us
Okay.
in a positive way.
So by working on my soup.
Remember that anecdote we discussed
Right.
where the spark in a particular place
Yeah.
deeply affected someone on an emotional level?
Right. Right.
That illustrates this dynamic relationship
Well-
between our inner world and the outer world.
So by striving to become a better person,
Yeah,
I'm actually helping to raise the sparks
you could say that.
in everything and everyone around me.
It's like the inner work we do
Okay.
creates ripples that extend outward.
That's an amazing thought.
It is.
But what about evil?
Hmm,
How does that fit into this whole idea
that's a profound question.
of raising sparks?
Hasidism offers a unique perspective on evil.
Okay.
It doesn't view evil as a separate, opposing force to good.
So evil isn't inherently bad.
Instead, it sees evil as an aspect of creation
Um.
that has the potential to be redeemed.
Are you saying it's more like a misplaced spark
You could put it that way?
that needs to be brought back into alignment?
It's about recognizing that even within what we perceive as evil, there's a seed of potential for transformation.
Okay.
It's about accepting evil as part of the wholeness of creation
Yeah.
and understanding that repentance
Mhm.
and our actions
Okay.
can help guide those misplaced sparks
Right.
back towards the divine light.
It's a radical idea, isn't it?
It is.
To see evil not as something to be feared
Right.
or eradicated,
Yeah.
but as something that could be healed and transformed.
It makes you think differently about how we approach conflict and darkness in the world.
It does.
And this perspective on evil
Hmm.
is closely connected to how Hasidism internalizes
The concept of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of focusing on external rituals or offerings, Hasidism emphasizes the importance of inner self-offering,
Okay.
of dedicating your entire being to God.
So it's less about putting something on an altar and more about putting yourself on the altar, so to speak.
That's a powerful image.
It's about surrendering your ego and desires.
And there's a story about Rabbi Moshe of Kobrin
Okay.
who fainted from the intensity of his prayer.
Really?
It shows how deep and all-encompassing
Mhm.
this personal devotion can be.
Okay.
It's about giving yourself over completely
Yeah.
to the experience of connecting with the divine.
It sounds intense
It does.
and also incredibly beautiful.
Yeah.
So how does this shift in perspective, this
Yeah.
focus on inner transformation and the redemption of evil?
It moves us away
Yeah.
from an ego-centered worldview,
Okay.
where everything revolves around our individual needs and desires.
Right.
Instead, it shifts us toward a self-centered worldview. Okay, I have to admit, the concept
It is a bit of a paradox.
of a self-centered worldview is a little confusing.
Yeah.
How is that different from being selfish or egotistical?
It's not about being self-absorbed
Okay.
or putting ourselves above others.
Right.
It's about recognizing that our true self, the
Yeah.
core of our being,
Okay.
is connected to something much larger
Yeah.
than our individual ego.
And this is where Hasidism intersects
And this is where it gets really interesting.
with modern psychology in fascinating ways.
Yeah.
Depth psychology, for example,
Exactly.
emphasizes the importance of integrating the conscious and unconscious aspects of ourselves.
It's about acknowledging the depths of our being.
So it's about acknowledging the depths of our being,
Yes.
the parts of ourselves that we may not even be aware of,
Right.
and understanding how they influence our thoughts, feelings, and actions.
And this aligns with the Hasidic idea
Yeah.
of a self-centered worldview.
Okay.
It's about seeing ourselves as part of a larger cosmic order, for a web of interconnectedness
Yeah.
where our individual journeys contribute
Right.
to the evolution of the whole.
So it's a both-hand perspective.
It is.
We're individuals with unique paths and experiences,
Right.
but we're also part of something much grander than ourselves.
Exactly.
And by understanding this interconnectedness,
Yeah.
we can start to see the world
Yeah.
and our place in it in a whole new way.
You've got it.
Yeah.
And that brings us to one of the most transformative ideas
Okay.
in Hasidism.
Okay, you mentioned a transformative idea. I was
Yeah.
ready to hear it.
So Hasidism
What is this big idea that's at the heart of Hasidism?
recognized something truly revolutionary centuries ago.
Mm-hmm.
It shifted the focus
Okay.
from an objective God out there to the God within.
Oh, interesting.
It emphasized the idea
Right.
that each of us carries the divine spark within, and
Right.
through our actions and intentions,
Yeah.
we can reveal God's presence in the world.
So it's not about waiting for some external force
Right.
to save us or guide us.
Exactly.
It's about recognizing the power we have within
Yes.
to shape our reality
Yeah.
and connect with the divine.
That's a powerful way to put it.
That's incredible.
It is.
Yeah.
And it challenges us
Okay.
to think differently about our role in the world.
Okay.
It suggests that our lives are not merely about pursuing personal happiness or success,
Right.
but about contributing to the unfolding of a larger cosmic plan.
So each act of kindness,
Exactly.
each moment of connection,
Yeah.
each time we choose love over fear,
Mhm.
we're actually participating in this grand process
Precisely.
of revealing the divine.
And that's where the concept of tikkun olam comes in.
Tikkun olam.
Yeah.
I've heard that phrase before,
Right.
but I'm not sure I fully understand it.
Okay.
What does it mean?
Tikkun olam means repairing the world.
Okay.
It's a central concept in Jewish thought,
Right.
and Hasidism takes it to a whole new level.
Okay, so
It's not just about charity or social justice.
right.
It's about recognizing that the world is inherently broken, fragmented,
Yeah.
and it's our responsibility to help heal
Right.
those broken pieces.
So it's like taking all those scattered sparks
Yeah.
and weaving them back together.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
to create a more whole and harmonious world.
And the way we do that is through our actions,
Right.
our intentions,
Mhm.
and the choices we make every single day.
Right.
It's about aligning ourselves with the divine will
Okay.
and acting as vessels for God's love and compassion in the world.
It's a big task,
It is.
but it also feels incredibly hopeful.
It does.
It suggests that we're not just passive observers in this world.
Right?
We're active participants
Yeah.
in its healing and transformation.
Exactly.
And that's a powerful message,
It is.
especially in times like these,
Yeah.
when the world often feels so divided and broken.
It is a powerful message, and it's one that has resonated with people for centuries.
Yeah,
Hasidism reminds us that even in the darkest of times,
right.
there's always hope.
Mm.
There's always the potential for redemption and renewal.
I'm honestly blown away by the depth and wisdom of Hasidic thought.
It is profound.
It's not just an intellectual exercise.
Right.
It's a way of life, a way of seeing the world and our place in it
Yeah.
that feels both ancient and incredibly relevant
That's
to the challenges we face today.
It is. It is.
This deep dive has been truly inspiring.
I'm glad to hear that.
I feel like I've gained a whole new understanding,
Mm.
not only of Hasidism, but also of myself and my place in the world.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
So to all our listeners out there,
Yeah.
I encourage you to continue exploring these ideas, to keep diving deep into the wisdom of Hasidism,
Absolutely.
and see what sparks you might ignite within yourself and in the world around you.
That's a great takeaway.
Until next time,